you lived here?
1975. I grew up in Richmond. I elected that guy.
Do you have a mortgage on your property here in Richmond?
I do.
Have you spoken to your lender?
I have.
And what have they told you?
They are not renewing it.
Wow.
Richmond, British Columbia, a city of 220,000 souls, is at the epicenter of a private property crisis in Canada. In the 1860s, colonial surveyors were granted Crown-issued fee-simple titles absolute ownership, the bedrock of British common law transplanted to Canadian soil. Families from Europe, Asia, and across the continent answered the call. They diked the marshes, drained the peat, and turned flood-prone fields into fertile blueberry empires and suburban dreams. By the 21st century, the average home here commanded $1.8 million, secured by deeds that promised permanence. For over 150 years, those titles were sacred until August 14th, 2025. On that day, in a 400-page judgment, BC Supreme Court Justice Iyer declared Aboriginal title for the Cowichan tribes over 7.5 square kilometers of southeast Richmond. This was no ordinary claim. For the first time in Canadian legal history, private fee-simple ownership was ruled extinguished beneath Indigenous title. This ruling meant that 150 homeowners and numerous government properties in Richmond found their title on their property to be subordinate to new Cowichan band title. They had lost control of their properties, and the government doesn't seem to want to help.
Richmond are now owned by the Cowichan tribes because their great-grandparents once fished there. That is Aboriginal title. There are 200 more bands in BC with their own Aboriginal title claims. Judges have the legal authority to give away every square inch of this province, including your home, as long as Aboriginal title remains in our Constitution. Mr. Speaker, property rights are the foundation of Western civilization. Aboriginal title is an existential threat to that civilization. My question is for the Premier. Will he support constitutional reform to legally extinguish Aboriginal title?
Attorney General.
Mr. Speaker, we take a different view than the member on many things, including this one. The work of reconciliation and sitting down with First Nations across this province to resolve historic wrong and to bring certainty to the land is the path forward, and it's a path that we will continue to take, and is an important one. And I've already talked quite extensively about our approach in this legal matter that we'll continue to take to uphold private property rights, and we will continue to work with First Nations to bring agreements and certainty to the land. Thank you.
So what does this mean for property owners who now have this new Aboriginal dual title on their properties? Well, some are already reporting they can't renew their mortgages.
How long have you lived here?
1975. I grew up in Richmond. I elected that guy.
Do you have a mortgage on your property here in Richmond?
I do.
Have you spoken to your lender?
I have.
And what have they told you?
They are not renewing it.
Wow.
Do you worry about your home house? Do you worry about situation?
No.
Can you take us back to when you first found out? I'm assuming it was a letter or...
It was a letter that came in the mailbox.
What was going through your head?
Just mixed emotions. I've been paying for the city for no reason at all. I paid taxes, I bought the place, and now, lo and behold, I don't own my place. Not fair.
What did you make of what the lawyer said about Canada and the BC government not allowing government lawyers to argue the extinguishment of Aboriginal title?
I think that's just a bunch of words. It meant nothing inside at all. Everyone had their own defense and stuff. If they were so adamant, they could have allowed the homeowners to know. We would have spoken up back then, not 2025.
So you think that the lawyers had a duty to care for the citizens of Richmond as much as they had a duty to care for the actual court processes they were all respecting at the time?
I believe they had a duty to let every person that was involved with it know about it.
So why do you think they didn't tell you earlier?
Politics?
This is uncharted territory. No one really knows what the consequences of this decision will be. But Some are reporting that area investment is already being impacted. A $100 million commercial project has already fallen through in Richmond, though the bank is reluctant to say it's because of the new land title. So how bad could this get? How many areas are subject to this title? Well, according to the decision, any area that is unceded could be subject to Aboriginal title. That's anything in gray on this map. It includes the cities of Vancouver and most of the lower mainland in BC and most of Vancouver Island, not to mention huge swaths of Quebec. It is estimated that 5.8 million people are on unceded Aboriginal land in Canada. As the new owners of these properties, what are the band saying? Well, according to the Vancouver Sun, the Cowichan tribe lawyers are telling the affected residents they can no longer sell or buy without band permission. This means that homeowners are now stuck in limbo. They've lost control of their properties. They are being shunned by banks, and they are stuck in purgatory. But the story doesn't end here. This is just the start. Because of this ruling, many other tribes are now seeking land claims across Canada. The Algonquin tribe is now seeking huge swaths of Quebec, and some estimate that 5.2 million square kilometers, over half of Canada, is now up for grabs. Private property in Canada is under attack, and the future Canadian land ownership is now uncertain.